and I'm going to be running Portal Glitchless. The time is going to start when I see my crosshair knife control the shell. So that's going to be in 3, 2, 1, right now. Okay, so we have a bit of a waiting section here. It's about a minute long vault cutscene, so nothing's going to happen. So first off, if you haven't heard where Portal is, you've probably been living under a rock for the past 13 years. It's one of the most popular and critically acclaimed games. Puzzle games, rather, for PC. We're going to be running glitchless, which obviously means no glitches allowed. And our main movement is going to be forward bunny hopping, but it's not like the bunny hopping you'll see in a game like Half-Life, for example, where you can gain a bunch of velocity by going left, right, left, right. Instead, Valve decided they would patch bunny hopping in this game. And the way they did that was, whenever going too fast forwards, the game will give you backwards speed. So essentially, every time I jump forwards and onto the ground, the game will reset my speed. One more quick thing to note. Quick saves and quick loads, I'm able to make quick saves at my own will. And let's say I mess up in a chamber or I die, I am able to load that quick save. So in terms of these first few chambers, it teaches you a very simple mechanic, and that is that cubes can activate buttons, and those buttons open doors. So, chamber 1 coming up, to be honest, there's not going to be a lot to this chamber. If you want a little fun fact, this is the only chamber in the game where you have a portal that rotates, because we don't have access to any of the portals. But chamber 1 essentially teaches you that, yes, props can go through portals as well. And I guess one more thing to note, because it is a source game, there will be air strafing, so I'll be using that to steer myself in midair.
Perfect. Please move quickly to the chamber.
So as you can see, in between my bunny hops, I'm doing left-right strafes, and that just gives me a little bit of a speed boost, as opposed to holding W and jumping forward. So, start at chamber 2, we're gonna have a cutscene going up, so if you have 1 or 2 donations, feel free to read them.
Phenomenal. Fusion sends $10 and says, "Hey Shiz, I'm so hyped to see this Portal glitchless run. You're one of my favorite runners and inspired me to get into Portal speedrunning. Best of luck." We've also got $25 from Morgan. They say always love seeing Portal and Portal 2 speedruns. Burn the companion cube, save the potatoes, eat cake. Thank you.
Alright, so ending up at the end of this cutscene here, and we are now going to have access to the blue portal gun. Allow us to fire blue portals at our own will. So one little thing to note that I did there, I just did something called a QCE, stands for quick crouch entry. So by crouching and uncrouching on a floor portal, I can basically instantly enter the floor portal, and that's going to be the fastest way I can do that. I won't be using it too often throughout the run, but it's good to know. Chamber 3, really simple, just portal over the gap. Not much said there. So chambers 4 and 5. The game is going to sort of test ourselves a little bit more. It's going to step up the game. And by that I mean now, since it's the first map, we have access to the single portal device. So we're going to have to start using our brains a little bit more. We're going to place a portal on this wall to grab the cube through the portal, which is faster than jumping down into the pit and having to grab it manually. So if you thought chamber 4 was crazy, we had to place 1 cube on 1 button, and now we're placing 2 cubes on 2 buttons. Some advanced stuff. But in all seriousness, you can just drop these cubes down onto these buttons from a higher level. Just throw them on there, and we have yet another waiting section, so you have time for like 1 donation or so.
Alrighty, $250 from Beer Fox says, "This is a triumph. I'm making a donation. The cake is a lie." Hey, thanks for that haiku.
Very nice. I love the haiku meme we have going. So chamber 6 will introduce us to the Aperture Science High Energy Pellet. It's more informally known as the Orb. And yes, you can spam the chat with Orb, but we don't like to solve orb puzzles in this run because they are very, very slow. I'm only actually going to be solving 1 orb puzzle the entire game. So the way I skipped that one is I placed the portal on the ceiling, I air strafed into the floor portal, which allowed me to fly right to the end platform. Chamber 7 is the first instance we're going to use momentum through portals, because momentum is preserved through portals. So we're going to place a portal on the ceiling here, fall into the floor one, and place one on the wall so that we fling right to the end of the chamber. Skips yet another high energy pellet. Chamber 8, you guessed it, yet another orb puzzle. It's slow, it's boring. Thankfully, we can skip right over it. And you'll see why in just a second. I can bunny hop off of this conveniently placed map geometry. There's a little tile sticking out on the wall there. And I can use that to airstrafe right to the elevator. It's really convenient that that's there. I also did a portal peek there for the first time. That's going to be really important for later. Because portals have travel time in this game, I can fire a portal and then walk through a portal next to me, and by the time I'm on the other side, the portal still would have not have landed. So I'm doing another one here to get the portal under the cube. That is a cube not activating the button. I attempted to do a cube throw, and if you don't know how a cube throw works, you throw the cube. Next up, you have chamber 10. This is actually the chamber that introduces you to the concept that momentum is preserved through portals, but we just did it a little bit earlier. At the start, I'll be doing something called a portal stand. So when you're in between, when you're in between two portals and you fire another portal as you're in between them, when the portal lands, the game will attempt to push you out of the portals you're standing in between. But it's essentially to prevent some sort of cheesing or bypassing some puzzles you're not supposed to, but it fails miserably because you can just hit the opposite movement key to prevent that push. Chamber 11 is where we get access to the dual portal gun. And normally there's an extremely long puzzle. It's like 30 seconds if you know what you're doing. But thanks to a huge oversight, just plop a portal on the wall, jump right through to our portal gun, and now we have access to both portals. If you thought the first few chambers were more of a drag, I'm sure you'll be happy to know that things are going to get a little more interesting from here on out. I'll start with an airstrafe here to skip a fling that we normally have to do. A cool little backward strafe here to get some speed, and then hopefully I can nail this cube throw. Very, very nice. So I did that. 1, for the swag points. 2, it actually saves 4 seconds over jumping down and actually placing the cube on the button. So it's very nice that I got that first try, because it's pretty hard. It can be a run killer. So 13, first map, we have access to both portals right off the bat. If you liked cube throwing in 12, you're going to see more of it here. Normally, you need to use 2 cubes and place them on both buttons. However, you can place 1 cube on one of the buttons and stand on the other, and the door at the end of the chamber is already open, so you can just shoot right to the end. Very, very nice. So, chamber 14 is a test chamber. And now I am done with chamber 14. Really simple fling. Valve knew that you could skip that by using momentum through portals. But instead of patching it, they decided to keep it in order to reward players for sort of thinking outside the box. Not a lot of time to breathe at the start of 15 here. We have an orb cycle we have to reach, which thankfully I got. This is the only orb puzzle we solved in the game, as I mentioned earlier. Little QCE there, gonna airstrafe over this glass pane. Do some portal stands over the goo and fling right to the end. So that portal stands, the portal stands skip a moving platform over that goo, which is usually really, really slow. And you guessed that we had to solve more puzzles, but thankfully I was able to skip over that. Same with the fling at the end. Usually you have to hit these buttons to activate these doors and everything. It's really complicated. But thankfully we do not have to do any of that. Chamber 16 is where things get spicy. This is probably my favorite chamber in Glitchless. Really fast paced, a lot of portal peeking. So I'm actually going to take this time to focus, because there is a lot going on here and I could die. Okay, I got through there without too much incident. A little sloppy, but the good thing is I didn't die, which is really fortunate. Could have been faster, it was pretty sloppy, but we move on. So going on to chamber 17, everybody's favorite chamber, because you guessed it, we have the companion cube next to us here. And our companion cube is going to be our best friend, but probably not in the way you think it will. So you probably noticed that a common theme in this run is that we do not like solving the ore puzzles. And it is the exact same case for Chamber 17. We are going to essentially stack some props in order to skip the chamber. We're going to take this camera and we're going to position it in just a fashion so that we can place the cube on top of it and just climb. Oh, accidentally save loaded there. That's unfortunate. I also messed up the trick a bit, but I have my backups. I had to orientate the camera there, a little bit of improv. But thankfully it worked out.
The weighted companion cube.
A little bit of a fat finger flub. But I'm really sorry that I have to do this. I have to make the ultimate sacrifice and incinerate the companion cube. I'm really sorry, but it's for the good of the speedrun. We have to do it. Chamber 18, very action-packed. If you liked the way that we used props in 17, I'm sure you will enjoy the way we're gonna abuse them in 18 as well. Whoops. What happened there is I didn't shoot my portal on the wall here. Air straight to this. That's how it should have went. We're gonna take this camera from this sort of room with the puzzle and sort of push it against this door here. And what that is going to do is I'm gonna stand on this button and it's gonna keep the door open here just long enough so I can shoot into this room later into the map. I'm gonna attempt something called re-portals here. Got the first one, very nice. And I got the second one, okay. So, if you remember how I said in Chamber 10, that when you're in between two portals and you fire another portal, the game attempts to push you out of the portals you're standing inside of. It's the same concept, except we're stacking our falling velocity on top of that. So I get a boost by placing that portal at just the right time so that when I go through the portal, it gives me that push along with that vertical velocity. So I'm able to skip a couple flings at the end of that chamber by doing re-portals. So Chamber 19. A lot of portal peeking. It's also very technical. So I am going to have to focus just a little bit on this first part. Shoot through the fan. And then we shoot behind this glass tube here. And the point of doing that is it skips a little exploration section. Because, well, spoilers, but we're essentially escaping from these test chambers. Because GLaDOS, the AI that has been monitoring us throughout the game, has attempted to kill us. And that brings us into the escape maps. Escape 0, Escape 1, and Escape 2. This is Escape 0. Escape 0 is focused on movement and precision. So as you'll see, I'll be doing some portal peeking here at the start. And when I shoot this portal here, I'm actually skipping a trigger that causes these pistons to move. So all these pistons are supposed to be in motion right now. But because I skipped the trigger, there's no cycles that I have to worry about here. All right, so heading up to EO1. It's home to the world's best strat name. It's called the turret flippy, skippy, tricky, flingy, wingy, swingy thingy, I believe. I think that's the full name. I hope I didn't butcher that. But essentially, that's going to allow us to do. We're going to bring a turret later into the map by doing these portal peaks here, very nice. And this turret is going to help us break this glass here. Because if you saw that rocket turret right next to me that just popped at the ground, normally that has to lock onto us and break the glass, but it's really slow. And there's a whole nother cube puzzle to get into this vent, but I skipped that as well. Whoops, that sparked. Now we're on Escape 2, last map of the game. So GLaDOS is going to start by trying to ambush us with a bunch of turrets. They're coming out of these hatches here. But if I airstrafe well and just shoot at the end of the catwalk like that, I can get right to the end. Very, very nice. And then I can just portal to GLaDOS' chamber. Awesome. All right, so there's going to be like a minute of downtime here where GLaDOS is going to talk to us. And then after that, we have a boss fight. So you have time for some donations if you'd like.
Excellent. DTL 1 of 1 sends $10 and says, unbelievable. You, subject name, yeah. Must be the pride of subject hometown, yeah. So much. The Cat Covenant Dude with $5 says, excited to see Shizzal destroy this Portal speedrun. The entire Portal community is watching. No pressure. And we've also got INO with $15 saying Portal ought to be quite a spectacle. Since Ori's in, this goes to the reverse shield fight in Quest. Hey, thank you.
Good news. I figured out what that thing you
Got time for like one more.
did. It was a morality
Alrighty. Alessa with $250 says, thanks for being awesome, GDQ. Love the Portal games, and I had to donate for my first paycheck after coming back from quarantine. Big shout out to the support crews. Yeah, thank you for your generosity.
Alright, just in time. Here we go. We're starting the GLaDOS fight. And the way this fight works is GLaDOS attempts to launch rockets at you. And you redirect the rockets at her by using portals. And every time you hit her with a rocket, she drops from the personality course. You incinerate the personality course, and it does damage. And you do that 3 times, and the fight is over. So we're just gonna fling up to this blue core here as fast as we can. And now we're on the last core here. After I incinerate this, that's gonna be time. And time. Alright, so that was Portal Glitchless. Portal is extremely accessible as a speed game. It's one of the most popular speed games on speedrun.com even. If you want to learn this game, which I highly recommend you do if you liked this run, if you like Portal in general, very easy to get into. We have a very supporting community. We have a Portal Discord you can join that'll help you out. So shout out to the entire Portal community. And it's been a great pleasure to run at your event. You can follow me on twitch.tv/Shizzal. What was my time? If you can give that to me. I'm actually pretty curious. Thinking it was somewhere in the 16
Let's see,
minute
it
range.
says 1607.
1607 is pretty good. Pretty good real time, definitely. I made some mistakes in like 16, 17, 18, but that's okay. That's a pretty good time. I'm happy with that. So thanks again, everybody. And please tune into the next few runs. Portal 2 is going to be very, very cool. So see you guys.
Thank you very much, Shizzal, for that simply ostentatious Portal glitchless run. We got a few more donations for you. Got Hellacious Whiskey with $25 saying, Portal is one of my favorite games of all time. Let's eat that cake. Yeah, that sounds good. Yum, yum. Got Danstead coming in with $25. Their comment reads, here's a donation. Danstead left a note here. Huge success. It's hard to overstate my satisfaction. Since Ori just got met, let's raise the difficulty of Lion King to difficult mode instead. Keep on grooving, y'all, and stay safe. Yeah, keep grooving too, Danstead. I hope there's a late night dance crew between all the Discord parties going out tonight. You gotta keep it going. We gotta keep it going. We've also got Stan the Lion with a $25 donation. They say, had to donate for my favorite series. It's hard to overstate my satisfaction with the fantastic work Doctors Without Borders does. Let's keep donating to a great cause, and maybe there will be cake. We can only hope. Thank you so much. I'm going to be sending you over to a quick words from our Twitch words. We'll be doing a quick Twitch ad. So don't touch that browser tab. We're going to be right back. What's going on, everybody? Welcome back to SGDQ 2020 online, powered by Twitch. We're going to keep that Portal hype going on with an all main courses run of the Portal 2 co-op campaign performed by AJ from Portal and Bets Runer. It's going to be an amazing run, highly technical, lots to keep track of, but I can promise all of you, they've both been working hard to have a great run to show you. They're going to push for a great time, and they're going to have a great time, as will you when you watch, because you're going to be seeing it in just a little bit. We have a $50 donation from GLaDOS. GLaDOS says, "This is a message from the Aperture Science Computer Aided Enrichment Center. We wish to encourage you to continue supporting the charity Doctors Without Borders through your generous donations. Doctors Without Borders will surely benefit from your monetary generosity and feelings of goodwill. If you do not wish to donate to Doctors Without Borders, please fill out the provided paper form to opt out. You will be processed, and your paper form will be incinerated. Thank you, and good luck." Thanks, GLaDOS. I'm glad you're still alive. Lissy sends us $5. Say, "I bring a poem form, unspoken in the halls of games done quick before this time. Cinquains." Oh, we got limericks, we got haikus, we got cinquains. I think we had some sort of like iambic pentameter. I'm thinking about doing a sonnet later this week. Spoilers. So I just love all the generosity and all the creativity from everybody donating this event. I love all of you. So many poets out there. Rizzy sends us $50. She says, "Making a note here, huge success. Good job. You're the best, my fave bro." Aw, no you. Rizzy, you're my fave bro. Love you, buddy. Thank you. We have a donation of $5 from Ventus Animus. Says, "Press F to pay respects to the companion cube." We shall. And we're also going to take you to an interview with Yellowkillerbee. Going to be talking with Azorae, the runner of the Talos Principle.
Thanks so much, Iggy. Yes, I'm Yellowkillerbee, and thank you all for watching Summer Games Done Quick 2020. I'm here with Azorae, who's going to be running the Talos Principle, and he's going to be running the All Sigils category, which, as I understand, is pretty much 100%. So thanks for joining me today, Azorae.
Thanks for having me. How are you?
I'm doing pretty well. So we're kind of coming in the middle of a Portal block here, and I understand that you've run Portal games in the past, but today you're running the Talos Principle. So why don't you start off by saying, how is this run different or similar than the Portal games?
All right. So we're just coming off Portal 1 Glitchless, which is a super cool run. I used to run the inbounds category back in about 2014, 2015. And present day, Portal 1 Glitchless is a lot closer to my inbounds run than the current inbounds run is, which is super crazy with lots of new technology, and that's all fine and good. But around that time, the end of 2014 is when the Talos Principle came out, and I really kind of fell in love with that game. So it's on a completely different engine, so the movement tech and everything is very different, but it's still fast. It's based on the Sirius engine, which is famous for the Sirius Sam games, which is like one of those super fast, snappy first-person shooter, tough guy, macho one-liner games. So it's cool that the developers took a complete 180 and made a nice, ponderous, philosophical puzzle game for us all to chew on. And it's really a fantastic game, and it's a fantastic speed run too. As you mentioned, we're doing all of the sigils. So that's 129 different puzzles, and we'll be using intended solutions on exactly 3 of them. The rest of them will be broken in some way or another. So look forward to that.
That was actually one of my questions, was how many puzzles were as intended, because I believe when you did this run before, there was maybe 10 that you were doing as intended. So now it's down to 3. How else has this game changed since it was last in a GDQ?
Yeah, so the last time we did it at a GDQ was Summer Games 2017, so almost exactly 3 years ago now. And the run has come down by about 5 minutes in that time, just due to new tech, new findings and stuff. Lots of routes, lots of optimizations. So we're going to be seeing some cool stuff, as well as the cat ending is going to allow us to see a completely different ending. So last time we did the messenger ending, which is considered the best ending, but this time we're going to be climbing Elohim's forbidden tower.
Ooh, exciting. So, and everyone has donated for that. So thank you so much. We met that donation. So we're going to get to see some cat or something. We'll find out. It's a surprise.
It's true. I'm glad it got met because I'm not great at hyping up stuff like that. So thankfully the hosts were able to do that for me, and we already got there before the run even started. So thank you very much.
There you go. There was a bit of a cat theme with all of the
That's
the
true. The cat
incentives,
castle
so.
from Valley was very cool. So hopefully my cat can live up to that.
I'm sure. I mean, anytime there's a cat, I mean, that's a win right there.
Yeah, that's
So
why I
is
figured
there-
I'd submit.
Yeah, for sure. Is there other exciting moments? I mean, besides the cat ending, which of course is the big finale, but is there other exciting moments or other speed tech that we should be watching out for?
So Talos is more like a smooth ride, I would say, than some speed games where you have these big flashy tricks where you do like a kind of one and done thing that skips a large portion of the game. Since I'm getting all of the sigils, I'll still have to at least enter all of the puzzles to get to their endings. So there's nothing incredibly crazy that'll skip a whole bunch. There's a lot of things that will skip a little bit at a time, and that adds up. So my first run of this category when the game first came out was over 2.5 hours long. So you can see how far we've come. There are some neat tricks that are, I think, more goofy than cool, but we want to be looking out for them as we reach the Messenger Garden and World C and so on.
Oh, nice. And I mean, I did watch your run from 3 years ago, and I was impressed by a lot of that tech, even if it might not seem flashy to you. I mean, anytime you're like flying through and using items in an unintended way, I always think that's super cool. Plus, there's some things with changing the frame rate. Is that still in the run?
Yes, so the game's physics is tied to frame rate, which I think is a big no-no as far as development is concerned, but it worked out in my favor because by cranking all of the settings down to lowest of the low in this game that's now 6 years old, we can get up to about 400, 500 frames per second, and we can get some pretty crazy boosts off of that frame rate.
Well, that's excellent. Well, I know I'm looking forward to the run, and that run is actually coming up right after Portal 2. So thank you again so much, Azorae, for taking the time to sit down and chat with me. I really appreciate you being here.
Thank you very much, and good luck to AJ and Bets in Portal 2 co-op.
Yes, speaking of AJ and Bets, Portal 2 is coming up next. So with that, I will throw it back to the host, Iggy, who is killing it on the mic. By the way, take it away, Iggy.
Aw, thank you, YKB. You're killing it too in your awesome interview with Azorae and that really incredible Talos Principal run that is coming up right after Portal 2, so stick around for it, people. We got plenty of donations coming in, for Portal and otherwise. Tasselfoot, the rock star of Untitled Goose Game back in January, sends us $50, says, GL, to runners, I miss y'all's faces. Shout out to the best host, Iggy. Aw, and he's going to make me say it. Honk! Oh no, what have I done? Thank you so much, Tass. Love you, man. Okay, we're zigging. We got a zag. All right. Gallium Antimonite sends us $10. Says, a recipe haiku. Baking powder is wrong. Use fish-shaped ethyl benzene for the perfect cake. That is a deep cut. Thank you so much for that incredible donation. Oh, that cake would be the most true cake. It really would. DK Tizano with $100 says, love the game. Love to see it getting broken. Looking forward to eating cake with GLaDOS. Hey, thank you so much. We also got $20 from Bruto Fight Master. Says, such a good Portal run. Great run, Shizzal, and I can't wait to see the Portal 2 run. Put this money to finding everyone's favorite ringtones by everyone's favorite phones. Nokia. We shall. Listen, I want to get everybody directed towards meeting another incentive coming up. Yono and the Celestial Elephants. Very adorable game. There is an incentive to dress Yono like Link. You want to make a cute game and make it even cuter. It's currently sitting at $473 out of $3,000. We can knock that out super quick, and that's coming up I want to say close, but not too close. We got plenty of time to meet $2,600. Let's make it happen. We have $50 from Cannon Swift in the form of a haiku. It says, the cake is a lie. This donation helps people. Fast strats bring much joy. Thank you. We've got Cosmic Carpool with $50. Love the cause and love the speedruns. Can't wait for Portal 2. You're not going to have to wait for too long because it's now time for the Portal 2 co-op run. So let me send it over to AJ from Portal to intro the run.